It was a heartbreak for India as Vinesh Fogart was disqualified in Paris right before her bout, right before her final. And now back home in India, the political parties are wrestling over this matter. The Congress continues with its politics over this issue, and Bhupinder Singh Hooda has now caused a stir by saying that he would have offered a Rajya Sabha seat to Vinesh Fogart, to which Mahavir Fogart has very strongly reacted to. We'll get you all that and much more on Across the Republic at 6 p.m.
Blending the human side of mobile tech with reliable journalism at Asia's largest news headquarters. HMD Smartphones and Republic, partnering to prioritize innovation.
You're watching Across the Republic with me, Rakshita Mishra, and we will be getting you all the latest stories of the day today. The former Bengal Chief Minister and the last left Chief Minister of West Bengal, Buddhadev Bhattacharjee, has passed away. We'll get you more story on his journey. Also, we will tell you about the war of Waqf that was witnessed today in the Parliament. It could not be passed today in the Parliament. We'll get you the details of the war of words that ensued. Also, what's happening in Paris. We'll get you a lowdown of that as Neeraj Chopra, our golden boy, will be in action in the javelin throw men's final. Also, the politics over Vinesh Fogart, viewers, continues. Political parties are sparring over the disqualification, and she has hung up her boots announcing retirement. Not just that, viewers, we'll also get you what's happening as far as the the Congress leaders back-to-back controversial statements, how they're backing anarchy, how they're comparing India with Bangladesh. All that, but first up are the headlines at 6 p.m.
With your permission, I rise to move for leave to introduce the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024.
Kiran Rijiju tables the Waqf Amendment Bill in the Parliament. Samajwadi Party, Congress and the AIMIM oppose it.
अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं इस बिल का विरोध करता हूं।
अध्यक्ष के अधिकार अखिलेश जी सिर्फ विपक्ष के नहीं है, पूरे सदन के हैं। इस तरह की गोलमोल बात आप नहीं कर सकते हो।
Storm over Waqf reform in the Parliament. Akhilesh Yadav says a lobby in government snatching the rights. Amit Shah hits back at the appeasement charge.
Mr. Derek O'Brien, you are shouting at the chair. I condemn your action. Next time I'll show you the door. How dare you shout at the chair?
Indy continues to politicize Vinesh Fogart's disqualification, creates a huge ruckus in the Parliament. Meanwhile, the Rajya Sabha chair schools TMC's Derek O'Brien, asks him to behave.
ये जो बेरोजगारी है वो बहुत बढ़ चुका है आर्थिक विकास के बावजूद। मतलब वहाँ की परिस्थिति और हमारी परिस्थिति में काफी एक कंपैरिजन कर सकते हो।
Congress remains defiant after Salman Khurshid. It's Manishankar Iyer comparing India to Bangladesh. India versus Spain hockey bronze medal match underway in Paris Olympics. All eyes on the men in blue. Bangladesh's interim government to be sworn in today. Indian High Commissioner likely to attend the swearing in.
it's likely that our High Commissioner would participate.
Now, the Modi government has introduced the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 in the Lok Sabha amid huge furor by the opposition leaders. Now, opposition leaders, principally from the Samajwadi Party and the Congress, have called this bill unconstitutional. However, other states that the bill would provide a solution to the harassment happening in the name of the Waqf board system. Take a look at this report.
The ruling NDA has introduced the Waqf Amendment Bill 2024 to reform the 1995 Waqf Act in order to improve the transparency and functioning of the Waqf boards. The amendment proposes that the Act be renamed to Unified Waqf Management Empowerment Efficiency and Development Act 1995. It also proposes to change the definition of Waqf properties to any property dedicated by a person practicing Islam for at least 5 years. It also proposes to transfer the role of the Survey Commissioner to the District Collector. It will also include the setting up of a central portal to register Waqf properties in an effort to make the process transparent. The composition of Waqf boards will also be reworked to ensure diverse representation, which will include Shias, Sunnis, Boharas, Muslim women and non-Muslim women. Finally, it will provide reforms to the tribunal structure, allowing the provisions to file appeals to the High Court within 90 days. The bill brings forward over 40 amendments to the present Waqf Act. One of these is that the Waqf board will need to undergo compulsory verification for all the property claims, thereby mandating transparency. Properties claimed by the Waqf board will now have to go through new verification to manage disputes and to avoid misuse. The amendment also aims to ensure women's representation on the Central Waqf Council and the state boards. The legislation is prompted by huge concerns over the Waqf board's arbitrary powers that have led to extensive amounts of land being deemed as Waqf property, leading to claims of misuse and disputes. Instances of land being grabbed by the Waqf board using the pretext of the Waqf Act have come to light from multiple parts of India. Many of these are also properties belonging to religious institutions and temples, which also include the disputed Gyanvapi structure, a Shiva temple in Uttar Pradesh and even a Gurudwara in Haryana. In fact, the Waqf board has even staked claim on a property belonging to the railways in Uttarakhand and even the municipal headquarters in Surat. Waqf boards currently control 8.7 lakh properties spanning 9.4 lakh acres across India with an estimated value of 1.2 lakh crores. Collectively, this makes the Waqf boards the third largest landowner in India after the armed forces and the Indian railways. All of these factors are intertwined, and this is perhaps the reason why the centre is adamant to bring amendments to the Waqf Act in an effort to increase transparency and promote equality.
Now, all hell broke loose in Lok Sabha after the landmark Waqf Amendment Bill was introduced in the lower house today. And opposition MPs erupted in protest against the draft legislation, calling it anti-minority, while the Treasury hit back, accusing the India Alliance of misleading the country on the bill. Here's a report.
सारा वक्फ बोर्ड जो है मुतवालिस के कब्जे में चले गए हैं, उसको डिसिप्लिन करने के लिए प्रॉपर कदम उठाया जाना चाहिए.
The opposition came out all guns blazing at the centre as the Waqf Amendment Bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha.
Does not have the competence to make this amendment.
AIMIM Supremo Asaduddin Owaisi lashed out at the centre over the bill, saying that the proposed amendments to the Waqf Act were against the right to religion.
Sir, I have given a notice under Rule 72 to oppose the Waqf Amendment Bill. Sir, I oppose the introduction of the bill under Rule 72(2) on the grounds that this House does not have the competence to make these amendments. This bill patently violates the principles provided in Article 14, 15 and 25. Sir, it is both discriminatory, arbitrary.
DMK MP Kanimodi said that the bill was against Muslims and minorities.
This bill is just not against the Constitution, it's against federalism, it's against a religious minority, it is against human beings.
Yes.
It shuns justice in every possible way.
Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav said that the draft legislation was only meant to appease a few extremist groups in the country.
ये बिल जो इंट्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, ये अध्यक्ष महोदय बहुत सोची समझी राजनीति के तहत हो रहा है। अध्यक्ष महोदय जब लोकतांत्रिक तरीके से चुने जाने की पहले से प्रक्रिया है तो उसको नॉमिनेट क्यों किया जा रहा है?
TMC MP Kalyan Banerjee said that the draft bill calls the morality of the constitution into question.
This bill is targeting the Muslims of this country. This cannot be tolerated. There are a number of reasons. Sir, just 1 minute, sir. Not 1 minute. 15 seconds. Sir, before election, there was an attempt in the country that to make the country as a Hindu Rashtra, which has been rejected by the people of this country.
NCP SCP MP Supriya Sule said that the bill will weaken the Waqf Tribunal while robbing the Waqf Board of its powers.
I request with full humility to this government to either withdraw it, and if they do not want to withdraw it, at least send it to a standing committee or make a committee together of the entire all-party meeting and then do it. Please do not push agendas without consultations.
However, the NDA came out in stout defense of the draft legislation, saying it has no provision to take away the powers of the Waqf Board.
इस बिल का समर्थन कीजिए, करोड़ों लोगों का दुआ मिलेगा। अगर आप विरोध करोगे, चंद लोगों ने पूरा वक्फ बोर्ड को कब्जा करके रखा हुआ है और आम मुसलमान लोगों को जो न्याय इंसाफ नहीं मिला उसको सही करने के लिए ये बिल लाया गया है।
Significantly, key NDA allies like the JDU and TDP came out in support of the bill.
इस देश में हजारों पंजाबी सिखों को किसने मारने का काम किया था? किसने उसकी हत्या की थी? आपने की थी, आपकी पार्टी ने किया था। हम उसके गवाह हैं, हम उसके गवाह हैं। हजारों सिख समुदाय, कौन सा सिख समुदाय जो टैक्सी ड्राइवर था उसने इंदिरा गांधी की हत्या की थी? सड़कों पर घूम घूम के सिखों की हत्या कर रहे हैं और अल्पसंख्यक की दुहाई दे रहे हैं। इसलिए इस बिल को आना चाहिए, पारदर्शिता आनी चाहिए। संस्था में कोई भी संस्था पारदर्शी तरीके से काम करे, यही मेरा आपसे आग्रह है।
Undeterred by the opposition storm, the centre is firm in its resolve to push through the bill that aims to bring transparency to the functioning of the Waqf Board while ensuring a wider representation.
A day after red-faced Congress distanced itself from Salman Khurshid's remarks that India could go the Bangladesh way, another senior party leader, Manishankar Iyer, drew a similar parallel. He is known for his controversial statements, and once again, he is at it again and is claiming that both countries were facing rising unemployment. The Congress leader implied that the civilian uprising, the unrest that brought down the Sheikh Hasina government in Bangladesh, could also happen in India. Now, what message are these Congress leaders trying to send out with such statements? Watch this report.
You mind if I said that Shaheen Bagh failed A lot of us believe that Shaheen Bagh succeeded, but I know what's happening to the people who are associated with Shaheen Bagh.
First, Salman Khurshid, and now Manishankar Iyer. No stranger to controversies himself, Iyer toed Khurshid's line in drawing a direct comparison between India and Bangladesh.
ये भी कह सकते हैं कि जैसा कि शक पैदा हुआ लोगों के मन में बांग्लादेश में कि ये फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शन है क्या, वैसे ही शक यहाँ भी आने लगे हैं. वहाँ तो उभर गए हैं लेकिन यहाँ भी वो शुरू हो गए हैं. तो जो सबक हमें सीखनी है वो ये है कि विकसित भारत बनाना एक चीज़ है, लेकिन वो आज़ाद भारत होगी क्या, वो एक लोकतांत्रिक भारत होगी क्या, एक आज़ाद भारत होगी क्या?
You mind if I said that Shaheen Bagh failed? A lot of us believe that Shaheen Bagh succeeded, but I know what's happening to the people who are associated with Shaheen Bagh. How many of them are still in prison? How many of them can't get bail? But what's happening in Bangladesh can happen here. It's just that Bangladesh is a concentration of much that we have in our country, and the spread in our country prevents things blowing up in the manner in which they've blown up in Bangladesh. But whatever is happening in Bangladesh is terrible.
While India continues to rally behind Iyer.
हम एक जनरल बात कहते हैं, किसी भी देश में और भारत जैसे देश में आपको युवाओं की आकांक्षाओं का सम्मान करना होगा. उनके बीच जो बेरोजगारी है, आप अगर उससे चिंतित नहीं है, आपका चैनल चिंतित नहीं है, तो मुझे आपकी चिंता है.
BJP says it is a clear attempt to manufacture unrest and divide in the country.
ये टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग राहुल गांधी को लगता है कि भारत से कोई ममत्व ही नहीं रह गया है. वो चाहते हैं कि भारत में गृह युद्ध हो, इसीलिए पहले उन्होंने एक पट्टा को छोड़ा, सलमान खुर्शीद को, अब मणिशंकर अय्यर को. ये सारे लोग इकट्ठे होकर के भारत में भड़काने का काम कर रहे हैं एक समुदाय को. और आने वाले दिन में कांग्रेस की नीयत है कि भारत को हम टुकड़े टुकड़े में कर दें.
देखिए, मुझे लगता है कि दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र हमारा देश का लोकतंत्र है, सबसे मजबूत लोकतंत्र है. और हमारे इस मजबूत लोकतंत्र के विषय में किसी को टिप्पणी करना, मुझे लगता है कि देश की 140 करोड़ जनता का अपमान है और देश की 140 करोड़ जनता देती है ना. बिल्कुल कांग्रेस और उनके सहयोगी दलों का ये इस तरह की मानसिकता, इस तरह के बयान, इस बात का मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं ये प्रचायक हैं कि आप देश के बारे में, देश के लोकतंत्र के बारे में टिप्पणी करते हैं, तो इस तरह की भाषा से मुझे लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं देश में भ्रम की स्थिति पैदा होती है.
इस तरह के बयान सीनियर लीडर्स को बिल्कुल नहीं देने चाहिए. ये वाणी संयम नहीं है. जाको प्रभु दारुण दुख दीनी, ताकि मत्ती पहले हर लीनी. देखिए, सरस्वती माता का वास वाणी में होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ये बयान वो लोग दें जो पहले सत्ता में रह चुके हैं, एक पार्टी विशेष के सीनियर लीडर्स कहे जाते हैं. बिल्कुल मेरा व्यक्तिगत राय है, बिल्कुल दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है, दुर्भावनापूर्ण है. इन बातों का कोई औचित्य नहीं है. हम इसकी भर्त्सना करते हैं.
Your own party has distanced itself.
No.
Your own party has distanced itself from your comment. What do you have to say?
Please ask my party.
Do you think a comment like this? Why did you make a comment like this? Don't you think it undermines the image of your own country?
What you're undermining is my freedom not to say.
You have to be, if you made such a comment in a public platform.
You should not be going anywhere. People that you abuse all the time. Please.
Salman ji. You made a comment about your country like this in a public platform.
Please. I say whatever I say in public, never in private.
As the Congress struggles to control its loud mouths, the question is breaking India the opposition's best bet to get back at PM Modi?
Viewers, Indian wrestler and of course Vinesh Fogart, she has announced her retirement right after what happened in Paris after her disqualification from the finals of the Paris Olympics. Just hours after being disqualified for being overweight, we've seen what has been happening back home in India, the political face-off that is intensifying. The political parties are sparring in the parliament over disqualification. Take a look at this report to know what happened today.
As the nation rallies behind Vinesh Fogart, the opposition continues to stir the pot.
मैंने प्रयास में कोई कमी नहीं की. Don't laugh at it, Mr. Jairam.
Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar and Mallikarjun Kharge engaged in a vocal spar.
Yesterday only we raised this issue, and it is a very important issue, not only concerned to a particular individual.
You are making.
No, this Fogart.
You want to discuss it?
Yes. Discuss. And who is behind this? And how only 100 grams.
Nothing else is going on record. Nothing else is going on record. I will not allow the house to be used as such a platform. Please, sorry. Avail the rules, sorry.
Tensions fled as Dhankar condemned the opposition and then staged a walkout.
बैठने में अपने आप को सक्षम नहीं पा रहा. मैं दुखी मन से. They think they are low unto themselves. They think they are all wise. They think they are the only one whose heart is bleeding. The entire nation is in pain because of our girl. Entire nation is feeling the pain. Right from the president to the prime minister to myself and many more, everyone is sharing the situation. But to monetize it, to politicize it, is the greatest disrespect to that girl. That girl has a long way to go.
Despite undeterred widespread support for Fogart.
Petty politics and absolutely no sportsman spirit, and they're just trying to do this petty politics out of this unfortunate incident. And see, in sports, first thing is sportsman spirit, and she has done so well. We should all be proud of Vinesh, and I'm grateful to Haryana government, especially our Chief Minister Shri Naib Saini ji, who has said that we'll give her all the facilities, all the encouragement that any silver medalist would get.
Despite the centre reiterating their point.
And what are the steps being taken to ensure?
जहां तक विनेश फोगाट का सवाल है, ये कोई पक्ष और विपक्ष का सवाल नहीं है, यह देश का सवाल है और सारा देश उनके साथ खड़ा है. ये भारतीय खेल को आगे बढ़ाने का विषय है जिसके साथ सब लोग भावनात्मक तरीके से जुड़े हुए हैं और भावनाओं के साथ विनेश के साथ खड़े हैं. और मैं ये कहना चाहता हूं कि कल प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा चैंपियंस ऑफ चैंपियन, और साथ में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि सारा देश खड़ा है. मुझे लगता है, और मुझे ही नहीं लगता, सारे देश को लगता है कि ये आवाज़ प्रधानमंत्री की आवाज़ 140 करोड़ देशवासियों की आवाज़ है.
The opposition insists on keeping the issue forefront.
I am disheartened. In fact, the entire nation is disheartened. In a very bad mood right now. It is the politics is done by the ruling party itself. The same Vinesh Fogart and other wrestlers were fighting at the Jantar Mantar. They were fighting for their rights, justice, the right from the Honorable Prime Minister to the entire government. Ignored them. Today, naturally, people will get hurt of the.
As the debate over Vinesh Fogart's disqualification intensifies and the political divide deepens, the question one needs to ask is, will the nation unite to support Fogart and address the core issues? Or will the controversy continue to overshadow her achievements and the call for justice?
So viewers, that's it from our side on this edition of Across the Republic. But live and breaking continues at 6:30, so don't go anywhere, stay tuned.